Well, it's a rough ride for Congress in charge Harish Rawat, where the state of Punjab is concerned. Well, he said a lot of things he's had to go back on. The latest coming in is that has landed him in a spot of controversy. After he had met Navjot Singh Sidhu and his aide yesterday in Chandigarh, Harish Rawat had compared Sidhu and his four aides to Panch Pyare, or five holy followers of the last Sikh Guru Gobind Singh. Rawat was accused of hurting Sikh sentiment. The Akalis raised objections, sought an apology from the Congress leader. Rawat later said sorry, clarifying he had no intentions of hurting Sikh sentiments. He said as atonement, he's going to sweep the floors in a Gurudwara. The revered Panch Pyare were handpicked by Guru Gobind Singh to give the ultimate sacrifice for the Sikh faith.
मैंने तो एक सम्मानजनक उद्बोधन समझ करके वो शब्द कहा था, किसी का भी दिल दुखा हो तो मैं क्षमा मांगता हूँ। मैंने अपने शब्द वापस लिए, लेकिन अकाली दल के दोस्तों से मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ कि अपने पर के जरा सा भैंस देखें, हमारे जुए कहाँ खोजने चल रहे हैं। पंच प्यारों के भक्तों के ऊपर, उनका अनुसरण करने वाले लोगों के ऊपर गोली चलाई, उन्होंने गुरु ग्रंथ साहब का अपमान किया, वो लोग हमसे सवाल कर रहे हैं। तो मेरा दायित्व था कि मैं ऑनरेबल पीसीसी प्रेसिडेंट से और उनकी टीम और हमारे पंच प्यारे हैं जो 5 लोग करीब सारी प्रोसेस को गियर अप कर देंगे और सब प्रारंभ करेंगे, जिसमें संगठन की ढांचे को, बाकी तो पीसीसी अपने तरीके से काम कर ही रहे हैं।
All right, viewers, let's quickly shift focus right now to the state of West Bengal. Abhishek Banerjee, MP from the TMC, has fought himself and his wife in a spot of bother. This time around, Rujira Banerjee has refused to appear before the Enforcement Directorate. According to Rujira, it is unsafe for her to travel to Delhi with her 2 infants, which is why she's requested the reason for the ED to consider her appearance in Kolkata at their own residence. The ED has summoned TMC MP and Mamata Banerjee's nephew, Abhishek Banerjee, and his wife on August 28th, as well as in the coal smuggling case related to illegal mining in the railway areas of West Bengal. A top ED source told India Today that the investigations are yet to decide on the letter which has been sent by Rujira, but are expected to send her fresh summons. All right, viewers, let's move on to another big controversy. Now, BJP General Secretary C.T. Ravi has caused a huge political furor by naming the political outfit AIMIM, headed by Assaduddin Owaisi, Taliban.
कर्नाटक तालिबान का जैसे है, कलबुर्गी में तालिबान नहीं चलेगा।
BJP General Secretary C.T. Ravi, no stranger to controversial, often bizarre remarks. And as the heat builds before civic polls in Karnataka, Ravi is at it again. This time, calling AIMIM chief Assaduddin Owaisi a Taliban.
MIM कर्नाटक तालिबान का जैसे है, मुद्दा एक ही है। तालिबान का मुद्दा, MIM के मुद्दा, SDPI के मुद्दा एक ही है। कलबुर्गी में तालिबान नहीं चलेगा।
Owaisi, who has been relentlessly campaigning for the AIMIM in the local body polls, dismissed the BJP leader's comments.
अच्छा है जी, उसको कुछ नहीं मालूम इंटरनेशनल पॉलिटिक्स के बारे में, क्या है किधर।
Owaisi then went on to taunt the BJP MLA with a dare.
दुनिया में 2 कंट्रीज है जो तालिबान को और सिराजुद्दीन हक्कानी नेटवर्क को बैन नहीं किया। कौन से मालूम आपको? एक इंडिया, एक पाकिस्तान। चलो बैन करो ना। अनलॉफुल एक्टिविटीज प्रिवेंशन एक्ट के टेररिस्ट में क्या बीजेपी तालिबान को टेररिस्ट घोषित करेगी?
The BJP has thrown everything into the fight to oust the Congress control in Kalaburgi. It's a bitter battle that's on for the corporation, with Owaisi joining the contest and fielding 21 candidates. Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, it's raining fury this monsoon, especially in the NCR region. Viewers, we've got the worst rainfall, or the maximum rainfall you can call, in the last 19 years, having the worst effects where it comes down to traffic congestion and areas completely inundated.
This man is not crossing a river. These vehicles are not stranded in a swollen water body. And this is not Mumbai. These are the flooded roads of the national capital. This is Delhi drowning. Hours of rain turned Delhi NCR into an island on Wednesday. Crucial underpasses waterlogged. Commuters stranded. Key roads, national highways submerged. And the Delhiites battling rain, apathy, wading through waist-deep water. Posh areas like ITO, Basant Vihar, and roads leading to airport witnessed massive flooding.
You can see that for meters there is no road can be seen under this waterlogged street. For meters, even the vehicles are moving in a single row because almost all the road is being occupied by the rainwater.
Traffic movement on Minto Bridge near New Delhi railway station, the perennial flood zone, was also closed due to waterlogging. Roads connecting Delhi to neighbouring Noida and Gurugram saw heavy flooding.
5 hours with 8 heavy-size booster pumps which have been installed here to evacuate water, but the stretch is more than 200, 300, and when there is water logged, at least 1.5 to 2 feet. Here the Delhi police has put up a barricade, and this is to ensure that no one passes through the manhole, and this could be really dangerous and risky. But the overflow, look at the pressure that is coming from the sewage.
While familiar deluge scenes unfolded like every year, questions were raised on Delhi government's monsoon preparedness. Delhi, which saw an orange alert, will be on yellow alert for rains for next 2 days. With Kumar Kunal and Ashutosh Mishra, Bureau Report, India Today.
Because this is the situation right now in the national capital region. But let's now get you a basic sense of what's happening in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Many areas completely inundated, where even basic food and water is difficult to reach.
Sitting on this cot right outside her home, which is now in water. Nisha is desperately looking for help. She lives with her sister and younger brother in a village in Gonda district of Uttar Pradesh. One of the worst hit by the floods, ravaging many parts of the state.
क्या-क्या दिक्कतों का सामना करना पड़ रहा है?
सब दिक्कत पड़ रही है।
क्या किस तरह की?
बाढ़ आई, सब कुछ भी बह गया था और पिताजी हमारे भैंस आग के सूखे की ओर निकल गया और घर पे ही सब कुछ छोड़ के।
Sham Raji has a similar story to tell. Guarding the little that she has left, Raji is waiting for the flood water to recede. All this in the hope that she can soon reunite with her family.
परिवार हमारे भैंस लेके गया है, बाप पूत और नात पतुआ सब बेउंदा ऊपर हर माँ पठे दिन पानी में बहुत परेशान लड़का की हारे।
तो आप यहाँ क्यों बैठी हैं अकेले?
अरे हम बैठी हैं, अब सर सामान सब धरा है, घर छोड़ कहाँ चले?
सामान को बचाने के लिए बैठी।
हाँ।
Access to these remote areas is tough. India Today travelled to the interiors of Gonda district by boat for a reality check. Village after village, there are countless people waiting for government aid, food, and even drinking water. The government, when approached by our team, claimed help is being arranged.
SDRF, बाढ़ की चौकी, मेडिकल टीम और पशुओं को बचाने की व्यवस्था, गोताखोर, नाव, स्टीमर, ये सारी व्यवस्थाएं की गई हैं और हर तरीके की राहत सामग्री लोगों को देंगे। पूरी सरकार जनता जनार्दन के साथ खड़ी है। जहां कहीं भी कोई जल जमाव है उसकी हर तरीके की उनको सुविधा प्राप्त हो, इसके लिए हम लोग तत्पर हैं।
The situation is not so different, just a couple of hours away in Barabanki. India Today visited Kodhari village along with relief workers. What we saw is this: 5 feet deep water and submerged houses. Manas Ram and his family, including children, say they haven't eaten for a day.
पहले खाना वाना सब राहत मिलत रहा है, तो अब खाना वाना तहसील साहबदार साहब बंद कर दी है कि अब राशन मिल गया है तो खाना अपने हाथ बनाओ खाओ। यहाँ साहब ना लकड़ी है, ना ईंधन है, ना गैस है।
हमने यहाँ इसके लिए प्रशासन की तरफ से 28 नावें लगा रखी हैं, जो कंटिन्यूअस बेसिस पे जो यहाँ नीचे के लोग हैं इनको बंधे पर ले जाके विस्थापित किया जा रहा है और वहाँ उनको भोजन सुबह और शाम दोनों समय दिया जा रहा है।
The villagers are waiting for the help from administration. Some of the villagers haven't eaten a single bite since this particular day and are waiting for the lunch packet. Though they say that ration have been provided, but they have no source to prepare food, as with no electricity, nothing can work, be it stove or gas. With cameraman Neeraj Kumar and Rehan, Samar Srivastava for India Today.
All right, let's move on, viewers. Hours after complete pullout of the United States from Kabul, the latest is that Taliban's ally, Al-Qaeda, is mounting pressure to shift focus on Kashmir.
If the nightmare of history repeating itself had an image, you are looking at it. The man on your television screen is Aminul Haq, a top Al-Qaeda leader, a close aide of Osama bin Laden. Seen here being welcomed back to his native Nangarhar province after it fell to the Taliban. If the lightning return of the Taliban wasn't a big enough confirmation of America's 2 decades failure, this phase should exponentially haunt Washington DC and the rest of the world. Especially at a time when the US president has declared for the second time in weeks that Al-Qaeda has been destroyed. In a second sharp irony, Aminul Haq, who was Osama bin Laden's security chief in Afghanistan's Tora Bora mountains, emerges from the shadows right before the 20th anniversary of 9/11. It was this man who's understood to have helped the Al-Qaeda founder escape US forces in 2002 by moving him out of Tora Bora in eastern Afghanistan to Waziristan in Pakistan's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province. The Tora Bora cave complex high up in the mountains was where the senior Al-Qaeda leadership was holed up at the time. His role in helping the world's most wanted terrorist Osama bin Laden escape was described in former Pakistan President General Pervez Musharraf's memoir In the Line of Fire, based on information from Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the third highest ranking member of the Al-Qaeda. By stepping out and welcoming the Taliban, the Al-Qaeda has signaled something that the US Central Intelligence Agency will take weeks to digest. For starters, claims that Al-Qaeda had been wiped out are now directly questionable. Even if one were to take American declaration that the Al-Qaeda had been weakened beyond repair, the fact that Osama's top aide is now in the warm embrace of the friendly Taliban means they can recuperate. The enormous weapon harvest left by the United States also means that Al-Qaeda can quickly rearm itself easily. But the development isn't just a wake-up call for the United States, but directly for India as well. The Al-Qaeda has sent up a declaration for war for an Islamic caliphate that includes Kashmir. A detailed statement issued by Al-Qaeda after Taliban's takeover is a call to arms to liberate so-called Islamic land from the clutches of the enemies of Islam. O Allah, liberate the Levant, Somalia, Yemen, Kashmir. Could the face of Aminul Haq signal the rebirth of once most feared terrorist organization? And has the new world given them even more potency and lethal potential? Bureau Report, India Today.
Up next is our fact check segment. Welcome back. You're watching our fact check segment where we bust certain claims masquerading to be facts on social media platforms and WhatsApp groups. Now, there's a picture floating about suggesting that massive amounts of Afghans fled to Pakistan. Well, this, viewers, is an old video from April 2020, nothing to do with the current state of Afghanistan. This is an image from 2020 where Afghans are returning from Pakistan. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of 7 at 7. Do stay tuned. Up next is To The Point.